what interested me was when I asked Miguel what he was doing. He gave me like a what's that thing hotels give itinerary. He gave me like an itinerary of his events down there where he was at, and he tried to sneak past one part, which I think he had to know. I was going to ask him about, which was
What?
when the swingers club, sex club, what was that?
So all right. So let me break it down like this, because obviously you're trying to give the public that image of me. So I'm gonna switch it up.
Okay.
I went down for work while I was down there in Atlanta. A homeboy of mine from Florida, me and him have been texting. He recently has been breaking into the adult film world, right? So I said, cool. Da, da, da. I told him I was going to Atlanta. He said, oh, I should come up. I said, come through. You know what I mean? We split that Airbnb, saves me money. I got to take care of these bills. Keep telling you that. So he comes up and, you know, he gets there. And on God, like, I Googled what club should we go to. And it gave me a club. It gave me a club.
Mm-hmm.
We went to the club. It ended up being a swingers club. Now, this man was like, oh, I can network here. I said, okay. So then we enter the swingers club. There you go.
So let me get this straight. You have a friend who was trying to get into the adult film industry.
And he's doing pretty good on it. He's doing
So
like,
he started.
he's done a few. Yeah, he started. He's done a few scenes. I'm proud of
Okay,
him.
as a producer.
No, no, no. As a star, as an actual
Oh,
performer.
so he's trying to be a male performer.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So he's done some things. Okay, all right. And so you guys just happen to go end up at a some type of now. Is it swingers or sex or is this synonymous?
It's synonymous.
Okay, so you get there. What happens? I mean, he says he can. I know why thinks he can go there and connect with people. What are you doing?
I'm just being I'm being a good friend. I'm supporting my boy. I was showing up. I was like, fuck it, you know. Can't let him go. What if he walked in there and they all killed him? You know what I mean? So I'm like, oh, let me walk in with him. So I walk in. I'm like dodging and weaving, and I'm just like, oh wow, like it just opened my eyes to a lot. I was talking to some people about it last night. So apparently, clubs like this exist all over, which I
Oh
didn't
yeah.
really know. I didn't really know that. I didn't really know.
Okay.
I didn't know. So, but then when I started describing the club, like, which I thought was abnormal, all the things that I thought were abnormal, like, you know, this man taking both his hands and lifting this girl up by her neck like that, and swords and shit like that. I was like, oh, can you believe it? And these people were like, yeah, they do that at these clubs. And I was like, oh, so this is a national aesthetic that happens at these swingers sex club, whatever it is. I don't know. I've never been to one. It was my first time. It was a big shock.
Okay, so now here's what I'm kind of shocked that you were just able to walk in there. Usually with these places, there's like a guest list or location to be
Nope.
announced. You were just able to just walk in there.
We showed up and we were like, as soon as I saw the spot, I was like, this is sus. We opened the door and I was just like, I smelled the air and I was like, oh, smells like no. I was like, no, nah.
Smell
And
like
then
what?
the lady,
Lust.
it smelled like lust. It smelled like an old video store. You know what I mean? Like I was just like, oh god. And then yeah, they were just like, oh, you know, you guys coming in. And my buddy looked excited, and I was just like, all right, fuck it, let's do it. We had to pay like obviously the entrance, and then we
How
got
much
in.
was the fee?
Oh, $70
$70.
to get in.
Okay. So what did you see exactly? Like, is it sectioned off by activity? Were there more women than men?
It's all pretty open. I will say this: there's a um couples area where like if you're not with a couple, you can't walk into that area. I think that's where most of the fucking happens. I got to be honest with you
Mm-hmm.
because like there was so many sounds coming from there. There's like big security guards kind of blocking it off. You can tell you're not everyone's allowed to just jump in there. So when you first walk in, there's porn playing all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, which I was kind of disappointed in their playlist. I'm not gonna lie, but like,
Too vanilla for you?
yeah, I was like, oh, this is low quality. I was like, come on, this performance, this is not the mood right now. But like, it's just a playlist. So we walk in, and there's like a bar, and this guy's like serving this bar without a shirt, stuff like that. And then there's like couches, there's like stripper pools, there's high top tables, and then there's like a little like stage kind of place where like people could hang their hands up and shit like that. We saw this girl being hung up like by her hands, and she was getting whipped. Then there's like dark. I noticed there was dark corners all over the place. There was like these little patches of dark corners, and then these dark
Wait.
corners,
Like dark is in like no lights or something, or
like the lights. There was lights, but they were like fading off. You know what I mean? They were like
okay.
red lights at very low intensities. And I was just like, oh, okay, so those are the dark corners in which like, and I saw some stuff. I saw people getting some yakety yak and smackety smack. So I was just like, oh, okay, cool. I was like, cool. And then they had literally private rooms upstairs, you know, which noises were coming from, and uh, I see, you know me and Jabaya. I got in there and I found the most friendly woman I could find, and I was like, so explain everything to me. Like, what's the rules? What's the regulations?
Yeah.
Like this and that, because I don't want to be out of pocket by just trying to start a conversation. Next thing you know, I'm getting beat with a sword. I don't know. They had the wheel thing. They had like this one thing that you
The wheel
bend
thing.
over and you hold.
What?
You've seen it. You've seen it. Like they tie you up by your hands and your feet to a wheel, and then they can like spin you around and stuff like that.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. And oh, I saw this one guy put this girl in a cage. I forgot about that. Most of the time, I was just wondering, like, should I call 911 for some of these people?
So this was the single section of the club.
Yes.
Okay.
I didn't
And
get to because I didn't get to go to the couples because I wasn't with anyone.
what was the breakdown of the single section? Like male to female? Was it more women than men? More men than women?
No,
What?
I would actually say it was pretty equal across the board. I'm not going to front.
Okay.
Maybe it was like 60-40. Maybe it was 60-40.
And was security like letting people in, or was it like you could just come in if you wanted to?
We can, bro. There's literally more security by the couple section than there is by the entrance.
That's so interesting.
Yeah, there was also a backyard, but it was cold last week in Atlanta. So
Did you get any play?
no. I'm sorry. It's not my scene. It's not my scene, bro. I'm sorry. I went in there and I was like, oh, okay, cool. Let me be open minded. But I don't know. I looked to my right. This nigga was getting his top off, and I looked to my left, and this girl. I was just like, you know what? Maybe I'm old school here. Maybe
I
I'm
mean,
old school. Where
you could have just been overwhelmed. Like there was so much stuff happening to you. Like your brain was just so overly stimulated that
a
you
little
couldn't even
bit, yeah,
process what was going on.
yeah, a little bit. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, you should try to get into the couple section though. All right, that's where it's really popping.
I mean, if a woman that I'm interested in is interested in checking something out like that, yeah, why not? I mean, look, at the end of the day, it was all like a very, very harmless place. In fact, nothing to me. I was ready for someone to shank me in the middle of the dark. You know what I mean? And nothing like that happened. It was honestly a really interesting, entertaining time. I had great conversations with some really interesting people too. So it was cool.